Awesome. So I really like Hannah's story from the intro to this whole segment we're doing, and before we really look into the first device you brought along, I want to put forward a few ideas. And it's a few ideas around the sales process that the salesperson who sold you your old computer, the last computer you purchased, would have gone through. And steps that I think we're missing from that process. So when I listen to your story, I think two things in particular which would have been awesome to have done and would have gone and made you have a better overall experience and put in a lot of brand loyalty to you. And that is one, being able to challenge some of the ideas that customers come into store with, right? So customers with tech friends who come into the store, usually they're really similar, I find, to the tech friend you have. I don't want to bash him because he's obviously a really smart person and he knows what he needs. But tech friends look at it from their point of view, and to be honest, they're really bad at stepping out of their own shoes and going into the other person. So they don't understand what someone who's not super technical necessarily needs. And that's why I think today's going to be awesome, because even though you self-describe yourself as not very technical, which isn't super true, I'll put that out there, I think that's the best way to look at things when we're selling the right device to your customer. The other thing is leading with a premium device and being able to
fully agree. Fully agree. Because basically, and like I'll be totally honest, I'd done my research. So I went into store, as I'm sure all of you guys have experienced, and I went in store and basically told them what I wanted, and they showed me maybe 2 different devices, didn't tell me anything extra about them, they only showed me what I wanted. This brand of laptop is a Toshiba because the one I had before was a Toshiba, and that is literally why I bought it. I wasn't introduced to any new ideas. SSD was really new at that time, but it was available in the market. And I think that I would have hugely benefited from it. Obviously, SSD helped to make devices a lot smaller and a lot more lightweight, given that I was using it to go to uni and stuff every day. I was a musician at that point in time, so I definitely would have benefited from touch screen for using, charts on a music stand instead of printing off paper, all of those kinds of things. So I want to start and do exactly the opposite of what Fletch just said. But I want to start at kind of our entry-level device in the Ideapad range. And we've talked about this before. There is an ExpertZone article completely dedicated to this one if you want to check it out. But this is the Ideapad S130. So, as I said, it's like going to the supermarket when you're hungry. I'm watching The Office at the moment. I've pretty much watched 7 seasons in maybe 2 weeks. So that's what I like to do when I get home from work. And so at the moment, my personal computer, all I'm doing is plugging it into my TV and watching The Office. So, what's great about this device, it's got an HDMI port on it, so I don't need any adapters and stuff. I can plug it straight in. The 11.6-inch model does come with Office for free. Obviously, I've already identified as being a Microsoft Office user. It's lightweight, it's nice and portable, it's got 8 hours of battery charge, super nice and easy, like, it looks nice. It's a nice little device at a really good price point. So if I was mid-office episode and my computer broke, this would be kind of, oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting this, I don't have a reserve tank of money filled up, I would go on store and I would buy this. And I think that is honestly like some people's needs. Like that's the extent to what they use a computer for, right?
And I think I used to work in store, and me and Hannah have both been in retail for a long time. We kind of live and breathe this space. And I know there are a lot of cheap devices out there. And I know, I promised Hannah I wouldn't talk about specs, but there's one spec piece that I think we can both agree we will mention, and that is that this has a solid state or eMMC in it. Is that right? So I would be highly disappointed if a customer who came in needing a cheap device to do, watching videos and stuff, didn't end up with something like this, which is going to be a great experience because it starts up fast, it opens programs fast, it looks nice, it feels nice, and it's all in that like great value price point of package, which is so important. If they got sold a clunker that didn't have 8 hours battery life and didn't have, had like a 500 gig HDD instead of a solid state, I'd be disappointed because there's a better computer on the market that's more suited to more people.
Absolutely, and we all know that if you're the person using that computer, it's not going to be long before you get fed up. It's not any faster than your old computer was, but you've just dropped $800 to $900 on it, and you expect better than your old computer. So I think that is where a little something like this is really, really awesome at an entry-level kind of device for entry-level needs, whether it be browsing the web, watching stuff on Netflix or Lightbox, because that's where the Office is, you know, sending emails, using Office. I think that this is a really great starting point. And this is something that, like, I could definitely use for most of what I do.
Yeah.
But as I've already identified, I need a computer that can do a little bit more than that. And I want to talk about kind of some things I use a computer for sometimes, but not all the time.
Absolutely. So one last stat that I'm going to chuck out. This is a modern device, right?
Yeah.
And all the devices we're looking at today are modern devices?
Yeah.
So when we don't sell a modern device to a customer, 30% of them, when they get home and try it, are going to be unsatisfied. And 39% are going to have buyer's remorse and regret their decision. And
those are some weighty statistics.
Weighty statistics. And the thing about those stats is, yes, they affect Microsoft. Yes, they affect Lenovo. But to be honest, buyers associate devices that they buy more with where they bought it from. So if you guys don't do that, it's going to affect us. It's actually going to affect us in a bad way. But it's more going to affect the brand. Whereas the opposite, if we do lead into that modern device, they're going to be 2.5 times more likely to buy it on the spot. They're going to be 5 times more likely to come back and purchase from you guys the next time they buy an electronic device. And they're going to be 6.5 times more likely to recommend you as a retailer to their friends.
Wow. Thanks for the fun facts, Fletch. Killing it. All right, next device.
Cool.